Hello everyone, I am FIDE instructor Atul Dahale and welcome to my YouTube channel. Before we start with the video, I want to ask you a question. The question is, which is your favorite piece on the chessboard? I hope that you will write down your answers in the comment section, and if you ask me this question, then I will say that my favorite piece is the knight, and the game which we are going to see is full of knight dance. Yes, the game played between Alireza and Wesley So we are going to see in this video, which was played in Chess Tour, guys, and this game is a very crazy game. Stay tuned with me till the end because there are lots of fibers, many interesting lines in this video which I'll be showing you. So let's begin with the game. But before we go further, don't forget to like this video, comment about your favorite piece and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. The game starts with d4, Alireza is white, Wesley So is black, d4 and f6, c4, then e6, knight c3, bishop b4. Well, we all know this thing that this is the Nimzo Indian opening. If you don't know, now you know this thing. And Alireza opts for a very crazy line. He goes for f3. Usually, we have seen the games between very strong players starts with knight f3 or e3 or even queen c2. These are the openings. But f3, whenever you play, you are going straight for the center, because there are three opening principles which everybody follows, whether you are a beginner, intermediate or the world class player like this, that center control is very important and rapid place development. Okay, so here he goes for c5, trying to undermine the center. d5 is played. Of course, you need to maintain the center in the position, and now black plays b5. Well, this is in the spirit of Benoni, you can say, where you try to undermine the center by sacrificing a pawn on the other side of the board. Here there is not sacrifice, because if you capture b5, the knight will simply capture the d5 pawn, and there is no way you can capture the knight on d5 because there is a pin on this diagonal, that is the a5 to e1, because of the bishop is there. Okay, Alireza says like, okay, I'm going to just maintain the center with e4 move. He castles in this situation, and now e5 comes. The knight is being attacked, knight goes behind in this situation, and now he further plays f4, trying to get everything under control in the center of the board. But one drawback is there from the white side. The piece is that the bishop on f1, knight g1 and the rook on h1 are not in the game, and white is yet to castle. Black has already castled in this situation. So of course, black is the one who is leading in development, but white has good center. So it is the battle of different imbalances on the board. Okay, black plays e captures d5, c captures d5, and now he goes for the undermining the center with d6 move. White plays knight f3, just supporting the pawn on e5, c4. Well, this move is played in order to take control of the diagonal, that is a7 to g1, and if the queen arrives on the b6 square, then white will not be able to castle on the king side very easily, and that's what actually happened also. But white is a very brave player. Alireza knows his stuff. He goes for a4, okay, trying to get rid of this pawn structure over here, because if you capture here, then the pawn on c4 will be lost, and another thing is that the center will be very intact in that case. So black says, I'm going to play knight d7. I'm not going for the stupid pawns on the queen side. The thing is that if you capture a b5, well, in the game bishop e2 was played. He was trying to just castle in this position, not going for the pawns. This is a strategy you need to opt for. But I just want to tell you that if you capture a b5, then black has a very interesting line. You can pause the video, think about the position and comment about the game also, or just think about it. I hope that you have paused the video and thought about the position, that d into e5, f into e5. Black has a good move, that is, yes, the move is knight e5. The point is, you are going to sacrifice a piece in order to get a lot of play. The thing is that white's king is in the center of the board, and black will be playing against that king with the piece activity. The thing is that now queen h4 check. If you play g3, then the rook on h1 will be lost without any trouble. The queen will be coming out for sure, because we always have this option of capturing, and then queen will come back. But the thing is that if you play king e2, what are you going to do? There is no direct threat in this situation. The move here in this position, or the plan of action, is simple. You play knight f3 or knight d6, play the rook e8, and then there will be too much of attack. Bishop will be coming on this diagonal, and this bishop is also there. You are not going to exchange the pieces. You are just going to bring your pieces against the white's king, which is there in the center of the board. This is the strategy you could have opted. He could have opted if he captures the pawn on b5 square. Well, he plays bishop e2, playing simple chess. Queen b6 was played in the game, of course, controlling the g1 square. Now bishop d2, unpinning the knight on c3 square, knight c7, getting the pieces. Now the pawn on d5 is under attack. Here white plays knight captures b5. The knight dance has started, okay? Now pay attention. Knight captures on d5, bishop captures on b4, knight captures on b4, and knight d6. Whenever you get the knight in the center of the board, it is a good way to play the game. It's a good thing for you, okay? Bishop a6. Black finally is getting all the pieces. Still white's king is in the center of the board, okay? He plays queen d2, preparing for both sides of castle, but castling on the queen side is a little bit risky in this situation, and I don't think so that any player will feel safe to castle on the queen side. Of course, white will be very happy if he can castle on the king side. The king is much more like safer on that side of the board. He plays knight c5. Okay, this diagonal is now blocked, but knight b3 is the threat. What to do in this situation? Well, Alireza plays in a very brave style. He plays a5, dislodging this queen from this square. Queen goes to b8 square, and very calmly he castles. The thing is that now the rook on a1 is lost, but he says like, okay, take my rook, but I need to get the activity. Until now black's knights were doing everything. The knight dance was there, but now after this capture, the knight goes into the corner of the board, and white says it's my turn now. He plays knight g5, giving up the rook just like that. What is really going to happen if he saves the knight? Let's suppose you play knight b3. Black is just rook up in this position, but one thing is there, his pieces are there on the queen side, means 5 pieces are there on this side of the board. White's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces can be just coming in the attack, and black's king will be in trouble. Why this thing is happening? Because he has sacrificed the rook. The line goes like this: queen e4 is a good idea, just going for the queen h7 check and mate. If g6 is played, you need to open up the game on this side of the board. So what will you play here? The move is f5. The idea is to play queen h4, queen h7 check and mate. And let's suppose you play a random move, okay? Knight c5 if you play, then queen will come on h4 square. If you play h5, then white has a very good idea, that is just capture here. If this is captured, or another idea is also there, you can just capture on f7. The point is, if you capture here, then we can capture on you can capture here on f7 first. If you capture it back, then this capture will lead to a check and mate. After this check, king will come here and queen h7. The thing is that you will be getting a lot of play just by sacrificing some pieces on the king side, and black will be checkmated. So the rook is actually not free. That's what I want to say. So in this position, he plays h6 move. Alireza's knights are doing wonders in this position. And now knight f5. Again, he's completely fearless. He has already given up the rook. He's saying like, take my knight on this square also, because if he capture, this will lead to a check and mate very soon. Knight e7 check, king wherever it goes, queen h3 will lead to a check and mate. So knight on g5 is not actually a free knight. He plays queen c7, stopping knight e7 check, and now very calmly he plays knight e4. The knight dance continues. f6 was played, queen g3. The point is knight h6 is the threat now, okay? He plays king h8, getting away from the pin. E captures f6, and black decides to return the exchange sacrifice. Knight captures f6, and now he plays queen c5 check, king h1, and queen captures on f5. Well, apparently this position is actually slightly better for black, but now the game goes up and down. I'll be going through the game a little bit faster because I want to show you at particular positions. He plays f5. Of course, he wants to play f6 in this situation. Knight ac2. Finally, the knight is saved in this position. f6 undermining black's king side. g5 was played. Well, g6 might be slightly better, but okay, g5 is played. Knight goes to g7 square. Still the knight continues, okay? Black also tries to get his own passed pawn. He wants to queen the pawn. He plays c3, and the bishop on e2 is hanging. First of all, you need to understand this thing. He captures on a6. Black says like, I'm not going to capture the bishop. I'm going for the c b2. The point is like, he wants to queen his pawn. Okay, both sides are playing very crazy chess. He defends the bishop. He comes back in this position. Rook f8, completely ignoring this thing on the b2. He's saying like, okay, I want to capture the f6 pawn at any cost. Okay, he plays knight h5, saving the knight. Knight d4 goes back here in the situation. Queen c3. Knight is going to capture, means knight captured the e2. What's happening? Okay, he captures the b4 knight. King g8. Okay, after this, knight g3, knight g3. Means the thing is that if you capture on h5, the rook on f8 was hanging, and this will lead to a checkmate. So first of all, he plays king g8, supporting the rook over here. Knight g3 comes back, knight captures, and this position looks kind of equal, okay? But both the sides are having some trump cards, f6 pawn and the b2 pawn. and now he plays queen e2 supporting the pawn on b2, but he gives this check, rook f7, and now here, okay, rook d1 was a very strong move. Queen e8 you need to play, because if you don't play that move, rook d8 check and followed by queen f7 will lead to a checkmate. But this will also be winning after queen captures b2. The pawn on f6 will still be there on the board. The a5 pawn is also there, and white should consolidate the position, and he should be able to get a very good position and he should win. Okay, rook d1 was played, queen e5, queen captures b2, queen a5. Well, the game would have been drawn if he captures, capture, and then capture. This is a very equal position. It should lead to a draw, but they did not go for this thing. Wesley So goes for a5 pawn, and then queen d4, queen c7, and here the last chance you can say of the game was there to play queen d5, pinning this rook. And the idea is you're going to give a check, or you even have this idea of rook e1, rook e7, and the rook on f7 will be lost. If you play queen g3, then queen a8 check, king will come here, and queen e4 check, king goes here. If you play king g8, then queen g6 check, followed by rook will be coming in the game. Let's suppose you play this thing, queen e8 check, and the rook on f7 will be lost. And if you play king g8, then also the rook on f7 will be lost, leading to a check and mate. So that was the last option you can say, but he plays queen e4. Now, okay, again it would have been a very equal position. The last chance was there, queen c5 check, king will go to anywhere, and queen f5. The game would have been equal. Okay, but as they say, fortune favors the brave. Here in this situation, he actually captured on b7, and then he lost the queen, and then the game was over very soon. He resigned in this position. So this was a very crazy game played between these strong players. Anything can happen when you are in time pressure. The game is the best example for that thing. I hope that you enjoyed the complications and the night dance which happened in this game. Okay, we'll be meeting very soon with some new content, new video. Till that moment, take care, goodbye, and love you all.